Hello everybody, it's Chris, and welcome back to another Amiga 4000 video. What do we have on the old screen today? This is my Amiga 4000 that I recently did a review of the BFG 9060, and a long time ago I had a 3640 in here and a warp engine. But I had an issue with my onboard 50 MHz clock crystal that whenever anything referenced it, the machine wouldn't work. I had to beat it up or drop it in order to get it to low high, and I found out that there was rubber in her hole. Yes, there's an old video I posted a long time ago about my crystal having rubber in her hole. There is rubber in the holes of your crystals. It's a grounding protection, but somehow that got all peeled off and it isn't making good contact. I have had numerous issues. What we're looking for is a low high here. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. Turn the power on might help. Low, high. Now it's going to work. It'll boot fine. It would do this a day, 2 days, and then if you bumped it or the floppy drive clicked, I don't know. Something's weird. It's been that way for a long time. Let's see if it even boots. No. Low. Nope, it's stuck in low. So what I would do is this. I either smack it. Yes, that's bad. Low, high, and then it should load. But this is stuck, so it's not. Sometimes if I let it sit long enough, there we go, it'll actually boot. The unit will function just fine. And there is the machine. Everything's working fine. It's at 100 megahertz. The BFG is working great. Hopefully you guys were able to get one of those. If not, you still can from sellers around the world, or email Kavanaugh's and see if he's got any that he can be made. I don't have my keyboard hooked up, but what happens is this. This machine will work fine, everything's groovy, it's really fast, and then it just locks up. Why? There it goes. Locked up. What's wrong with it? If I turn it off and turn it back on, it's stuck in low again. So, that's the whole endeavor of this video. What the hell is wrong with this Amiga? It worked fine for a long time with no crystal, no problem. But since the BFG requires the internal, need some power there, the internal settings with the CPU clock and board clock to internal, that's what screws it up. Because this crystal is jacked, I have problems. So I'm going to solder this crystal in. What does that mean? That means a total disassembly of everything in this 4000, which is just a few things. Yeah, that's fun. I'll fast forward this whole disassembly process. Okay, so here's my board. Yay! Ground strap's on my foot, so I'm okay to touch her. Here's my case. Yeah! I'm going to need my power supply to test this, but I'm not even worried about it at the moment. Take a peek at my horrid work. Here's my crystal, and when I mean loose, this is what I'm talking about. So, this thing. It's in there tight. I mean, it feels pretty good, but I don't know what the deal is with this. I don't know. It works light, and then it just doesn't work. I'm going to solder her in. This is a brand new crystal too, by the way, and I have many more just in case. So here's my wire mess on the bottom. There's 4 posts right here. These are my wire fixes for my battery damage on the CPU slot. So I cranked the temperature to 888 degrees Fahrenheit, which is not 888 degrees Fahrenheit because it's only 75 watts. So, I got a couple of them to go down. So here's what's left of my crystal. Solder tweezers. And pull it out. This tip. I just never have a fine enough tip. You know, the traces are good. But here we go, crystal. I'm just going to use some Scotch clear tape just to kind of go across the ROM and hold it at the level I desire. that is it. Ain't that crazy? Hopefully, this will be the shortest video ever. But as you can see, we're soldered in now. So this is what was in there. It is a hole that just gets stuck in there like beep in these pegs. It should probably still fit over there. Maybe. I don't know. Let's give her like that. And you can see it would go through the board. The top part was actually the part that popped through here. Now, I took those out because I don't know if they're making good contact or what. I don't know. There's a weird issue with this board where I gotta slap it. Best, here we go. Don't have any display. I need to hook up the power lights. Low. What the hell was that? Something stuck in my CD-ROM? No. See? Low, high. Something stuck in my disc. Doesn't sound good. Let's see if it boots. With the crystal soldered in, it should be better. At least it low, high, and now it's booting. Yay! There we go. But does it solve the issue of the machine having these weird issues? I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't. It just locks up randomly. I was thinking about even going back to a rotational hard drive for some reason. It's not like you're going to get any speed or... I mean, it's nice having compact flash, but I don't know. I was just thinking about it, putting this carrier down and actually putting a hard drive back in here. I mean, it is a retro system. It'd be cool to have an actual nice eIDE or IDE device in there. It's working. Floppy drive's working okay. Let's see. This says PyStorm. PyStorm says PyStorm. I'm just holding this in here ever so crappily. Where's the... There you go. And then we're going to take the GoTech here. Install 3.2. That's what it says. Where is it? Oh, locked up. Locked up again. Now if I turn it off, this thing is cursed. Turn it back on. Nope. Stuck again. Oh! It can't be the crystal. It cannot be the crystal.
There is another.
I'm telling you, I'm cursed. It's not the BFG. It's something in this board. Low, stuck in low, and that's it. Now watch. This is just, don't do this to your Amiga, but this is mine. Low, high, and there you go. Is it the power supply? Power supply's been rebuilt to satisfy the urge. I'm going to double check my rails. Alright. I'm going to set this back to crappy resolution. I'm pulling the video card out of it. Press, screen mode, choose multi-scan. Multi-scan productivity. 256 color. We're just going to hit test. Cancel mode pro. Make sure it shows. It does. We're good. So we'll say save. This is coming out the pure 15 kilohertz with the adapter. So it's going to be shifted and goofed, okay? Great. It works. It's slower than dirt because I'm on all chip RAM. Turning this off. I saved it. Now I'm pulling this card out. Display card's out. USB only in. I don't know. No. Again, either that or it's this messed up compact flash cable, IDE cable. I don't know what's going on with this.
The power of the dark crystal.
I think my cat just barfed on the carpet upstairs. Okay, so I got my 3630. I'm trying to figure out if it's CPU socket. I have new Kel connectors. I will put one in here in a heartbeat. Low, high. 3630, by the way. And there it is, 32 ROM, 321, 47102. Now, interesting thing enough, this is purple and shows a disk insertion. I have no boot device. This should be red and blinking. Alright, that's that, because the only reason I use the 3630, aka the 3400, 3200, that's what it's really called. If you can focus on that thing right up there, see that? 3200, 3400. I call it the 3630 because it's an 030, and 3640 was this one. So the only reason I didn't choose this or the warp engine is because the jumpers are set to internal. Lost the straw. Just making a mess. Don't care. Not the socket. And then burg it together. That's how I do it. I don't use my original plugs. Low high. Boot device. See how picky this thing is? It's picky. Let's see how well she listens. I want to see if it locks up. I'm going to boot a workbench disk. There's nothing on here, like nothing. Nothing at all. No keyboard. I just want to see if it locks up. So I'm going to let this sit, and I'll check back in a bit. Well, that didn't take but 35 seconds. It locked up right afterwards. So it's not software. It's something hardware. While it's frozen, I'm going to check my voltages again. Because why not? 1205, 5 volt, 503. Great. Just time check. It's 1:49. It's been running and still idling. I'm gonna let it run and check back in a bit. 2:14 p.m. 2:14. That's gonna say 3:14 because I never set the clock. I guess I can connect to it. 2:15 p.m. There we go. Alright. Alright, so this has been running for some time. I'm going to turn it off again. And I'm going to remove carefully this 3630, which is quite warm. And I'm going to put the BFG back in because it has a fan. I'm carefully going to do it. I'm not going to move a thing. I need to turn on my overhead so I can see. There we go. Low, high, boot screen. This is the BFG at 100 megahertz. Same thing. I'm going to let it sit. Alright, again, I'm going to boot whatever this is, whatever pops in here. Alright. This lasted 2 or 3 minutes last time. We'll see how long it lasts this time. Frozen. Instantly frozen. Alright, to eliminate my final thing, I'm soldering in my 2863636 crystal, and we're going to do that. Which means I'm taking this thing apart again. I'm just going to blip to it and then do that. Okay, just like that, new crystal soldered in. Brand new crystal too. None of this used stuff. Brand new. I pulled out my power supply. That way I could just do it right here. Alright, so we're going to go back to the 3630 on internal. Just for now. Hard drive, disk, low, high. 30 seconds we should have a screen. I should hook up the floppy because I get tired of waiting on it. I do have some IDE terminators. There we go. Working. Alright, so let's pull that out. We're going to put the BFG in. BFG. Click. Low. High. Video sync. ROM screen. Hot diggity dog. Are we good? I don't know. I'm going to hook up the floppy drive and we're going to boot the ADF thing and let it do its thing. Time is currently whatever Amiga clock says. 2 megs, 150 on board, 100 megahertz sitting here idling. It is 2:44 p.m. on my clock, which this might show. And then, yeah. So I'm going to let this sit. We're going to do a temperature check. 26.9 Communist, that is 81 degrees. Fahrenheit, 27.6. Now, I shoot right under the fan. I can get her down to 26 and some change. I have no demos. 1.6. Oh no, I blew the wrong one. 1.2. That's the one I want. Let's do the reset bus. Reset. That is normal. That is the BFG loader. Perfect. This is ATK 1.2. Let me go audio. Oops, you know what helps audio? If you turn the audio on. There we go. I don't notice any difference in the audio quality with a faster processor. Maybe for MP3 compression. I don't know. Let's do the, woo! Hurts my ears. Alright, so we're good there. I don't know. I guess I could just do a memory test and let it rip. And just check back in a bit, which is what I'll do. Alright, it's 2:54 p.m. It takes a long time to test 150 or 146 megabytes of RAM. It's been running for a little bit, not long, a couple minutes. I'm doing some temperature checks here, and I'm going to zoom on in while it's running just so you guys can see the temperature checks. Starting with Paula, 36, Video Deck, 34, Alice, 40, 39.4 to 43, 41, Lisa, 34. Now, the BFG itself, 27. Yes, it has a fan on it. Even on the outest part of the heatsink, 27.8. Center of the heatsink, 26.1 at 100 megahertz. Alice and Lisa, Paula, Video Deck are hotter than the processor. Yes, it has a fan. I don't like these things running that hot, but this is radiant heat. It is pulling the heat away, hence these fans. It doesn't feel hot when I touch it. Now, Alice is hot because she's primary driving the graphics. Paula, nothing really. It's not hot, but it is pulling the heat away. 53 degrees outside. Fahrenheit in the land of me. I mean, this has been running for a while, longer than it normally has. So, as a final test, I'm gonna hook the hard drive up. I'm gonna turn this off and listen to that thing whine. That is the Devoom booting hard drive. Boots a lot faster without an RTG card. You put an RTG card in your Amiga, that thing will take forever in a data boot. Now remember, in the previous attempt before it locked up, I set this to multi-scan so I can get this to boot. Now it's going to yell no Ethernet card. There's no daughter card in here. Workbench preferences are not set. It's going to look off. Okay, overscan the whole nine. Not meant to be perfect. Okay, it's 256 color, 100 megahertz. It runs like an 040 when you're in 16 color. But I'm going to turn this down a tickle. I'm going to let this sit. I'm going to load a screensaver up and let it rock. So hopefully I'll see you in an hour and this will still be running. Well, it's 10 after 3. I think. Waiting for Devoom to flip around. As you can tell, the screensaver commodity is just running. 53 degrees outside and sunny. 3:09 p.m. So I'm turning it off. Why? It's been running so well. I'm going to put the daughter board back in. And I'm going to put the RTG card in, and I'm going to flip it to a Spectrum mode. Why? Because I'm trying to iron out what the hell caused this issue.
The dark crystal.
We're going to go back into prefs, screen mode, and I'm going to flip this back to my Spectrum. Whip. Bingo. Now, we're back in RTG. Ooh, nice. Got all my chip RAM back too. There's all my RAM back. Okay, because I didn't have enough stuff falling over, knocking over, or in the way of my work, I added the keyboard to the mix. I'm going to have to hold that in my lap. Gaussian blanker, maximum color, let her rip, tater chip, all is well. Yay! Looks like I'm fixed. Let's see. Demos. We come in peace. If it loads, hard drive's loading. It's going to take a second to do this. This is in a Spectrum RTG mode. Ooh. So far, so let me turn this up. I can right click and increase the brightness. I'll turn this big light off. And this big light off. How's that? Is that better? And this big light off. Oh. Now you get to really see those neons glow. Takes 75 megahertz to run this demo smoothly. This is the part that takes all the megahertz. My screensaver kicked in and screwed up the thing. It's working. Alright, so that is a complete elude. We come in peace on mine now, repaired again. Amiga 4000 desktop BFG 9060. Just having all these weird problems with it. I couldn't figure it out to save my bacon. Why is it so dark in here? There we go. It's just dark. Hold on. I turned all the lights off to show you the video because it gets this screen. It's super bright in here. I can't describe. Well, look at the glare on the bald head right here and you'll understand. It's really bright in here just so I can film, because without it, it just looks dark. As you know, it's customary for me to play the Slayer Christmas album Seasons of the Abyss. I'm using Play CD from Aminet, track 10, Christmas music. I've been working on this the better part of all day. What fun. It's actually nice to be able to work on my own Amigas for just a tickle in between repairs. I gotta get my stuff running so I can make your stuff run. So thanks for coming along on this crazy weird journey. I hope this helps you. If you're having some weird issues with your Amiga where you gotta beat the crap out of your CPU, or you're inserting, reinserting, what happens is that CPU is banging into that crystal. The 28 megahertz and your 50. They're right near each other. So you saw what I did. Pulled the pins outside of those bad boys in direct, replaced both of them because I figured if I'm going to solder them in, might as well put new ones in. And now we're good to go. Crazy world. Thanks for watching, and as always, I hope you learned something.